Hi everybody, this is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk and Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours. Thanks for joining me today. I'm making two videos on September the 4th, 2014. The second one after this is going to be a meditation for all of you to raise your light and your vibration and to help you steer through these difficult times in our world. But it felt like before I did that, I couldn't just let September's message from Metatron go by without acknowledging the interplay between dark and light that is going on in our world at the moment. Those of you who have met me or have watched my videos before or have looked at my website will know that I often talk about the fact that one of the main tenets with Metatron is that he helps us with this interplay between dark and light. And that is within ourselves, within things that we grapple with within ourselves that maybe we are not comfortable with, heavier aspects, releasing stuff that we need to release, but on the collective stage as well. And Metatron is the angel that is helping us with the ascension of our planet. And so therefore he's absolutely in there, in the mix, trying to help us to make sense of what I want to say is the madness that is going on in the world at the moment. As spiritual people, we are by nature sensitive, and I would go further than that and actually say empathic. And to have empathy means that you actually feel another's pain, you feel another person's joy, you feel another person's love. There is no spectrum of, there is no end rather of the spectrum of emotions that you can feel if you're an empath. And so therefore turning on the news or reading a newspaper, even if you try to stay away from it, you can't really escape what's going on in the world at the moment, means that we are all affected by some of the real tragedies that are happening. This morning, I didn't know I was going to make this particular video. As I say, I'm making two today, but I really felt Metatron wanted me to say something about this interplay between light and dark and the madness that looks like is going on at the moment. And if I sound emotional, it's because I do feel emotional about this subject. And to me, it goes absolutely to the heart of what Metatron is about. And there are many spiritual teachers out there. There are many videos that you could watch. There are many webinars that you can look at on the internet about angels, about channeling, about healing. You're watching this one, and I hope you stay with me, because the reason you're watching this one is that Metatron is a real energy. It's an energy, and by that what I mean is that it's about getting in there and getting stuck into real life, real issues, real things that are going on in our world, and trying to make sense of them. You know, the beautiful painting that I had done, this is my little mini version, because I've moved down to a different room today to make this video for you. But you know, you can see him here, and what's he holding? He's holding the earth, and he's holding the earth within its own Merkaba. And the second video today is going to talk about Merkaba, because it's a protective thing that is around us, and also he's holding the earth and he's cradling it. There is nothing that is going to make him drop our planet and make him think that our planet is not a priority. It's absolutely central to what he is doing here in this depiction of him. And of course, this is just a depiction. Metatron is very much an energy, and he doesn't have to look like that, but it's how I like to personalize him, I suppose. So woke up this morning. The reason for my emotions this morning, last night I talked on Facebook about September's energy, and I said it almost felt like we all need a bit of a hug this month. And actually, I'm not being glib by saying that. I feel that. I feel that in our personal lives, and I feel that collectively. I know a lot of you are going through difficult times at the moment. And I also know that the world is obviously going through very difficult times as well. Actually, to have a collective hug is not necessarily a bad idea at this time, to know that we are connected and that we are one, and that there are many of us battling for light, and that light will prevail, and that the good in man will prevail. And also that at a personal level, if we are on track with where we're supposed to be, listening to our heart, listening to that little still voice within ourselves, we won't go wrong, you know. So it's time to be a little bit brave, I think, but also to have compassion for our fellow man and ourselves. But as I say, what set me off this morning, and I am not ashamed to say that I get emotional because, you know, I'm a real person at the end of the day, like we all are. And as much as we believe in angels and we believe in light, we can all get knocked by what goes on in the world from time to time. And just what set it off this morning actually was my 8-year-old daughter came in, and the radio had been on downstairs when she was having her breakfast, and she said to me, "What's a beheading, Mum?" From the mouth of an 8-year-old, what is a beheading? Now, of course, there are 8-year-olds in our world, unfortunately, who are much closer to atrocities than my daughter. But I thought, my goodness, you know, the shattering of innocence. And I didn't really know how to answer her. And then I, you know, opened up the papers, and there's stuff in there, dark stuff, you know, about what is going on in the world. And particularly Metatron is talking about the situation in Iraq, and the spread of the ISIS theology, if we want to call it theology, but really, which is about fear. You know, it's all about fear and spreading fear and chaos, and the need for all of us to stand up for the light. And I was reading about Stephen Sotloff, who was the last American man to be beheaded in the last week. And there is just the most beautiful, beautiful tribute to him made by his family and friends today in the papers. And I've actually got it here on my phone. I'm not going to read all of it, but there were a few parts of it that I felt were particularly poignant. The point is about it is that however dark his death may have been and however hopeless it looks, this tribute that the family gave is so full of light and hope for our world. And also reminding people that the reason that he was there was because he wanted to do good. He wanted to make a difference in a world which appears dark and heavy on the surface. And they actually spoke in Arabic, and they paid tribute to a gentle soul who tried to find good in a world of darkness. And they talk about the fact that he'd been torn between two poles, between somebody who just wanted to live a normal, everyday life, but somebody who was very pulled by the Arab world and the problems there. And they go on to say that he was no war junkie. He was someone who merely wanted to give a voice to those who had none, and had often put himself in very extreme situations to get the story out. There's a candlelight vigil being held for him, and the thing that struck me about the pictures is, I mean, it's probably just the way it's being pictured, but they're all young men in the picture holding a single candle flame of hope and light. And I'm just scrolling down because there's something else that struck me, was that from that situation, the family, who are very well versed in the Quran and have actually challenged some of the leaders of ISIS to a debate about what are they doing, and they're actually talking about where is your mercy. I suspect their plea may fall on deaf ears, but the fact that of all the people who maybe could have been captured and executed in the manner that this man was, his family are the ones that can speak Arabic, who are knowledgeable, who are intelligent, who actually want to start a debate with the people that are doing this to try to get some understanding and peace. And I think that is extraordinary, and I pay tribute to them. And that's what really affected me this morning. Also, David Haines, the British chap who is 44 and who is sort of next on the list, as it were, to have his life threatened. His 17-year-old daughter today has come out and said that her father has inspired her, whatever happens to him, to become an aid worker like him. So the chain of goodness and hope carries on with her. And she says, I think heroes exist, but they don't show off in a stupid cape, talking about her dad. And obviously we send love and light and ask Metatron to protect that man and to bring peace to this situation in our world. Moving on from that, you'll see behind me I've got some new sprays. They are, the blue one is a Midnight Indigo, and the bright yellow one is called Sunrise New Dawn. They've been ready for a month or so. Some of you already have them in your home, and they are the two latest energies really from Metatron that I've created with him. And I haven't had any words to put with them yet. And I kept thinking, okay, where are the words? And there were obvious words that I could put with them. But I thought, I don't want it to be obvious. You know, this has to be something that's different, because it feels different. The energy feels different. And it all just felt like it slotted into place this morning, with all of this, what I've just been talking about, with all the stuff going on in the world, the interplay between dark and light. And if we just put them together here, and I want to connect to them, what we've got effectively is a bottle here. This is the one that I used to call the shadow, you know, facing our shadow, but now it's actually called light in the darkness. And for me, this is going to be about helping to release the fear that we have within ourselves that stops our world from becoming a lighter place. Because, okay, we can't necessarily make a huge difference on the world stage as one person, but we can work through our own fear that is preventing us from shining our light. Do you know, being truthful with you, even this morning, sitting down to make this video, there was a part of me that thought, do I want to talk about ISIS? Do I want to really go there? You know, what if somebody sees this video, you know, that, you know, maybe I get targeted? Well, it's ridiculous, because, you know I'm 100% protected by the angels and by Metatron. But the thing is, I'm sharing that with you because we all hold fear within ourselves. We all do. And we just have to let that go. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to spray this indigo, midnight indigo, and just maybe connecting into the colour of it as well. It's a very, very beautiful colour, and I have to tell you, there's been an awful lot of effort gone into choosing the right colour here, because I got sent so many bottles that weren't the right colours, and I kept sending them back. I'm really pleased with this final choice. It's not black, because, you know, it felt that it needed to be dark, but not as dark as black. You know, we needed to be able to see the light within it. But it needed to also confront heavier aspects. Fear. You know, fear is one of the heaviest emotions that we can hold within our own body. And we have to sometimes face that, because if you don't face it, you're never going to be able to release it. You have to at least acknowledge that you have it within yourself. So I'd like you just to get comfortable. And then I'm going to use the New Dawn, the yellow, the beautiful sunrise spray straight afterwards, just to help us release whatever is coming up. So have no fear in doing this, because it's really worthwhile and you'll feel better for it. Okay, so as I'm just sitting here, just connect in now to your soul, to your higher self, to that part of you that is eternal, that part of you that understands why you came here, what you're doing here, and the life path that you have in front of you, and that actually holds great compassion for you as well. And Metatron just really stands here now with us, and I feel him coming in from behind me. It's as though he's got my back. And some of you, just as I spray this indigo essence around me, you may also like to imagine this indigo cloak that is coming around you. It is soft, it is fluid, and you are just imagining a very dark, deep indigo cloak coming around you. And as you do that, you actually feel the safety of it. There's nothing to fear here from this colour. It actually feels very safe, and it feels very strong. Just breathing that in and just connecting into the colour. You may also like to just visualise that you're breathing in a deep indigo into your lungs as well. And what I'd like you to feel is Metatron standing behind you, literally as though he is holding you and giving you a hug. And that is as blunt as he is saying. He's saying he's coming in and he's giving you a hug. He's holding you at the shoulders, and you can just feel his support and his energy as he comes in. And he's whispering in your ear and saying, there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. And Metatron is the energy that can help you to release this. He's just asking that you scan your body from head to toe, starting with the physical body. We'll work in the aura as well, but starting in the physical body. And just become aware of any area which feels tense or stressed, and that you just get a sense that you're holding fear there. And wherever that is, and you'll be being shown it now, I'd just like you just to allow the indigo in, and as it comes in, it's just highlighting for you where you are holding your fear. Breathe into it, and as you breathe into it, you just become aware that it's ready to be released and ready to leave your body. And at that moment, we're bringing in the Sunrise New Dawn Spray. It's a golden, light golden colour. And I'd like you to now just visualise that that colour as well is mingling with the indigo, and together they're making alchemy, and they're actually lifting out the fear from your body, or they're melting it away. They may be softening it, but it is just leaving your body very easily, very gently, and as it leaves your body, it's instantly transmuted to light, and it leaves your space. Metatron is saying some of you may also be aware of fear held within the aura. And again, you've got many different layers of your aura, and you may sense this as a colour or a shape or a blob or a shadow within your aura. And if you can sense that, once again, using the indigo just to almost like coming in to highlight for you where it is, getting a sense of that, and then with the sunrise, golden, pale golden light, just breathing in and dissolving any fear that is there. And as you dissolve the fear, you allow the light to come in. And as the light comes in, I can feel it now pouring down through the crown, coming down all around you. I'd like you to visualize a pale golden energy. And this is the new sunrise, new dawn energy. And Metatron promises us, he promises you individually, that whatever you are personally going through, and whatever collectively the world is going through, however dark, however difficult it seems, the sunrise and the new dawn always, always comes. And just allow that golden light now to completely permeate your being, to radiate out of every part of you, to radiate out of every cell, every organ, every part of who you are. And as you radiate that sunlight out, you radiate it out into the world. You radiate it out into the places that need it the most. You radiate it out into all the corners of our globe. You radiate it to Iraq, and you also spread it to those that are basically serving the light by being in shadow, by showing us the contrast between light and dark. And we just literally envelop the whole world in this sunrise energy. And we know that when the time is right, this new dawn for humanity will arrive. And at the moment, we are incubating it within ourselves. We are having to hold that light. And then you gently just come to. And I don't know about you, but I can really feel the lightness of that. And I also hope you sort of could feel that it was important to have the interplay between the two energies, because you only really appreciate the light, and you only really get this at a deep cellular physical level if you also can understand its contrast. That is what Metatron is about. It's not about one or the other. It's about the two together. The two have to go together because we live in a world of duality. I hope that helps, and I'm now going to move on to do another video which is on Merkaba. So for now, if you found that helpful, and I know many people are struggling with the energies of this time on our earth at the moment and being deeply affected by the news, if you feel that it may help somebody else, please pass the video on, because that's why I make them. The energies of the colours, the new bottles, are available also on my website. And these two aren't quite yet on my website, but they will be soon. But you can always email me, amanda.ellis@tascali.co.uk or amandaellis11@outlook.com. Much love. Bye for now.